Welcome back and happy Friday, year 9. Welcome to the last of the lessons of this week on of mice and men. Next week, we are going to be preparing for, planning for, and writing an essay on the character of Curly's wife. So this week, we've just been kind of looking at the final chapter and looking at foreshadowing. Today, we're going to be looking at empathy. And then next week we will be preparing for planning and writing an essay. Okay. So today's lesson it's going to have very little input from me. It's going to be you kind of exploring the characters as you see them. But we're going to be looking at empathy today. And empathy is very closely linked to sympathy. Sympathy is feeling bad for someone, but empathy is identifying and understanding the thoughts, feelings, and attitudes of others. Okay, it's understanding how other people feel. And one thing that they do say is that empathy comes with experience. The more you experience of life, the more you can empathize with others. Okay, and it's one thing that in English, especially English literature, it's very, very important. We need to start to understand the characters that we're reading, the stories that they go through, why they behave in the way that they do, and start to kind of put ourselves in their shoes. And that's really the key to empathy. It's putting yourself in other people's shoes and understanding why they might behave the way they do, why they might speak the way they do, why they might feel the way they do. Okay, so your task today is in this box at the top of the page. Empathy is the intellectual process of identifying and trying to understand or experience the feelings, thoughts, and attitudes of someone other than yourself. Try to put yourself in the shoes of the characters of Mice and Men. Think about their lives, their hopes and dreams, their circumstances, their feelings, their values, and their experiences. So it's about trying to see the world from their eyes. Okay, we need to empathize them and with them and try and see things from their point of view. Pick two or more situations from the list below, pretend you are the stated character, and prepare an empathetic response to the questions asked. Your goal is to try and present the viewpoint of the character, writing what you think the character would say. Okay, so I would like all of you to try at least 2 of these. Okay. Some of you might want to challenge yourself and go for maybe 4 of these. And some of you might want to really push yourself and attempt possibly 7 or maybe even all 8 of these. Basically, you're going to write a paragraph responding to the questions in the voice of the character that is stated. So, for example, if I was to look at Curly, the number 1, it says, are you happily married? Is your life what you wanted and expected? Are you good to your wife? So you might say, yes, I am happily married. I think that I am very happy. My wife is very pretty. I know other men fancy her. And so that makes me happy that I have what they want. I might also say, yes, my life is what I wanted and expected because I get to boss lots of people around. We know that Curly is a bully. We know that Curly likes to have power over the other men. So that's one thing that we could say. Am I good to my wife? Well, we know that Curly keeps his hand soft for his skin soft for his wife. One hand he does lots of labor with his hand, and that may make his skin quite rough. But he puts Vaseline on his hand so that he can touch his wife's hand in skin in a soft way. He may see that is being good to his wife. He may also see that being protective of her, always looking for her, looking out for her, is being good to his wife. Okay, so we're trying. Now that I've thought about those questions, I might answer those through the voice of Curly in a paragraph of 4 or 5 sentences, maybe. Okay, so that's an example of what you might do for Curly. I would like like I say, I would like everyone to attempt at least 2 of these. Some of you might really want to push yourselves and go for maybe 4 or 5 of them. And some of you really will want to challenge yourselves and go for maybe 7 or possibly even all 8 of these. At least a paragraph for each. And write from the voice. Try and write from the voice of the character. So have a think about some of the things that they say. Okay, so for example, if you're looking at George, you might want to think about some of the phrases that he uses. Okay, you might want to use words like that crazy bastard, or you might want to talk in a very frustrated, protective way. Okay, start to think about writing through, not just saying what they might feel, but also write in the style of the way that the person it would speak. Okay, that's it for now. The rest of it is up to you. You are not expected to send this work in to your teacher. There will be work next week that you'll be expected to send in, but you should be. We are expecting you to do this work. Okay. Thank you very much for listening this week. We will have YouTube clips for all of our lessons this term. We're trying to answer some of the problems that you guys have been having with the difficulty of this by actually having a teacher talk through the work that you're expecting. So it will be me all throughout this term uploading YouTube clips so that you can get a little bit of teacher input rather than just a task that is set. I hope you're all well. I hope that you are looking after yourselves and looking after your families. Remember, guys, that we are trying to prepare you for GCSE English. So the more work that you do this term and the more effort you put in, the easier you will find the transition into your GCSE years next term in September. Goodbye, enjoy this work, and have a good weekend when it finally comes. All the best. Cheerio.